What is up, guys? Menace Performance back again with another video. Today we're going to be tearing into this bad boy. If you saw my last video, I'm absolutely sorry for the yap fest I put you guys through for 20 fucking minutes. I just needed to get a video out and I was kind of all over the place, but I just needed to get something out and get back on track. Nonetheless, we are here and we're back. We're going to be tearing this part, or the valve cover apart today, like I said, checking out the damage for the Vanos assembly, see if what's going on there. I'm assuming a bolt sheared or backed off, and then maybe inspecting the cam ledges as well. I'm leaning more towards Vanos codes just because this did run and drive. It was just kind of rough and I was getting the Vanos code, so that's why I'm assuming maybe a bolt sheared or backed off. So we're gonna be checking that out, cleaning up some more of this shit in here. And then as far as the welding goes, if you saw my last video, I'm just waiting on the 4-foot straight for the piping to get the manifolds started. But that's just taking forever to get here. The other stuff shipped really quick. I guess maybe just because it's 4 feet, it's taking a little longer. But nonetheless, let's get tearing into this bad boy and see what kind of damage we got. All right, this ain't by no means a how-to video, but we're gonna get into it just a little bit for y'all that are curious. Just do a quick rundown. If you ain't single turbo, you're gonna have canisters, boost canisters, and then boost solenoids with the bracket here. I advise you take that off just to get ample access back to these bolts here. Makes it a hell of a lot easier going in and out as well. And then you're gonna wanna pop all of the coils out, and then pop all of the injector connectors out, then all of the ground wire nuts for the ground strap for this harness, and then take the 2 bolts for the harness out, and then you can pop this out and over to the side. Then you will want to remove the lines from the rail, the fuel rail to the injectors, take those out. And then after you have all the harness and the lines out of the way, you will need a special socket, 10mm long as fuck socket. I think this is like what, ATA maybe, or CTA, something like that. Got this on Amazon. Highly advise you get this and save yourself a lot of time. I've tried different variations of plenty of shit to try and get these off. Just save yourself time and get this damn socket. It is for the bolts that are on the ground, where the ground strap sits. This needs to fit in like that because this has this little recession in here and you cannot fit shit in there. After that, you can take those off, and then you do have a couple more bolts like that in there, plus all of the ones around it. And then when you are going back on with valve covers, please, please, please do not use an electric ratchet or like an impact, something like that going in. It is a very light torque spec. I see a lot of guys on the forums and stuff complaining about stripping these out and stuff. No, you just over torque the living shit out of it. It's aluminum bolts on an aluminum head. What do you expect? Look up the right torque spec, look up the right torque pattern. I've never had a problem, even with cheap Amazon valve covers just like this one. Done them on plenty cars, and if you do it right, you'll have no problem with it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for that. You can pop that off, and then, yeah. So let's get all this out of the way, get the valve cover off, see what's underneath. All right, guys. Got this shit off. It's been a long day. It's nighttime now, actually. It's hours since I filmed those last clips. So you can see my expansion tank is gone. Had to go do an emergency expansion tank replacement for a good homie of mine / good customer of mine. Just started working on his car, doing some things here and there, and his expansion tank actually blew out, not even at the seam but at the side of the tank, like 6 inches. I've never seen this before. It was insane. Pictures are on my Instagram. It's just the same as YouTube, Menace Performance. Posted that on there. So I had to go and do that. That was kind of crazy and took a little bit of my time to do. But yeah, got that taken care of. So that took some time. And then I went absolutely ape shit today. Focus. Absolutely ape shit today, cleaning the block. I mean, man, it was just dirt and oil and fuck. I went to war with this N54. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I went to war with this shit. $70 worth of brake clean and engine degreaser. I'm gonna let that speak for itself. But really happy I took the time to do that because now everything is so much better. I'm not going to have oil just dripping on my belts and just everything. The whole block is clean now, and I'm really happy with it. And it's not even perfect. There's still a bunch of shit. I need to eventually, once I get everything assembled, just pressure wash the whole thing. But for right now in the garage, this is good. This is what we're working with, so I'm happy with it. Anyways, what we're here for, looking at the cam phasers slash sprockets, whatever, Vanos assembly, whatever you want to call it. All the bolts on these look good. No sign of backing out or shearing out, especially back here. You would definitely have damage to the guide if they did. And everything looks clean in here. I mean, even this, you know, you kind of have this like varnish on here. At 190,000 miles, it could be better, obviously, yes, but I am still pretty impressed for what it is at 190K. I've seen a lot worse, and with almost 200,000 miles, I'll take that. I'm not too pressed about that, so that's pretty cool. But they will be getting replaced nonetheless. Because I don't see anything wrong with the hubs, I am highly assuming that it is the ledges that are going to be bad, or I guess technically scored. Kind of like a rod bearing. Basically run it down for you. Essentially you have the Vanos solenoids here. Those electronically open and close to allow oil pressure into the, or just oil into the cam phasers, because they need oil slash oil pressure to actuate. Then once you have the oil, that basically dictates how they retard or advance. And then, yeah, that's the basics of how that works. But BMW decided to use a steel square cut O-ring. I know it sounds weird, just look it up if you're curious. But a steel square cut O-ring right here in between the backing of the phasers and the cam ledges slash cams. With that, it's kind of like a rod bearing, and it can score over time, and you get grooves in it, and then eventually oil can seep out of there from the cam phasers, and you in turn, losing oil out of the phasers will lose oil pressure in them, and lack of oil pressure in the phasers will not allow them to advance or retard how they should, making your engine 99.9% of the time run pretty rough, just like mine was. So with that being said, I'm going to have those new cam ledges on order. I'm not sure if I'm going to be replacing the actual phasers or not, just because I've seen some instances, a few of the N54s like going bad and the bolts backing out and shearing themselves and stuff, but nothing like my M3 where it's considered literally a common problem on it, which is just so dumb to me. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. If it was an S54 and an N54, obviously we'd have to overhaul the whole fucking thing. But I'm going to do a little more diving into what people usually do with these, kind of what mileage and stuff, especially with 190K on the clock. I am kind of leaning a little more towards replacing them, but with it being a budget build and whatnot, we'll see. So especially I don't have the cam lock tools or anything like that right now. It's on the way and will be here this week. So with that being said, that is kind of it for right now. I also do plan to be replacing the lifters because they're hydraulic, and they can wear out over time and not hold the same oil pressure as they should when they're new. And that can cause quite a noisy valve train. So figured that while I'm in there kind of thing, they're like a little over $100 for all 24. So I was just going to take care of that. Just kind of get the top end taken care of, and then eventually too I'll do the rod bearings once I pull the pan off to do the gasket and the bottom, and then that should be pretty much a nice lightly refreshed motor for myself to send some nice boost through. But with that being said, got the hopefully pipe showing up today or tomorrow or Tuesday, and then we'll get that rolling as well with the manifold. But otherwise, that's about it for right now. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Menace Performance. Peace.